Hello and welcome to the Franchise Marketing Show. This episode was recorded at the International Franchise Show at the Excel. So although we use some really good microphones, there is some background noise going on, so there's some announcements going on because obviously it was a really busy show. But the content is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed recording these interviews and I hope you enjoy watching/listening to them as well. Enjoy.
Hi and welcome to the Franchise Marketing Show. I'm Steph, I'm from Coconut Marketing, and I'm joined by Sarah Cressall OBE. We are at the International Franchise Show. Sarah, it is so good to have you with us on the show.
It's an absolute honour to be here with you, Steph. I'm so excited. It's a great show. The energy's buzzing. Oh, it's just fantastic to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. For those that don't know who you and what is it that you do? What's your franchise?
So I am very privileged to be the founder and CEO of the Creation Station, where we inspire imagination and nurture potential. And we do that through an amazing team of franchise partners in the UK and overseas. And we basically bring creativity into all areas of learning, leisure and life. So we do like art and crafts activities for mums and babies, preschoolers, lots of holiday camps, after school clubs, teenagers, a lot of adult workshops with a bit of Prosecco and gin. You don't have to, but it's available. We also go into care homes, we do lots of birthday parties, and we do a lot of events. We have an event entertainment part of our business, so we get our franchisees lots of event contracts. So in a nutshell, we kind of really support people who want to have activities and do something that's fun and creative and educational.
It sounds really good. And I remember when you came to EWIF and you did a session at one of the EWIF conferences. That was so much fun.
That was, I think that was when we were just starting our adult and corporate events. Because we'd seen so many children obviously enjoy it. And then the parents muscling in and we'd give them, the activities or whatever. And parents used to say, we love this, Sarah, but can we do it without the kids? So that's really grown. And I think the need for mental health, positive mental health experiences, doing things with friends that isn't just going out drinking. Just having that kind of downtime to be playful as an adult. And what I love is that you are often surprised. I'm not surprised anymore, but I still am surprised actually. The amazing stuff people do. It's amazing. And we don't really teach, we facilitate. We unlock that amazing wonder from within. And people have full permission to do what what they're inspired to do. And it's lovely to see what people do. It's quite inspiring.
I can imagine. We're kind of almost going back in time, aren't we, where people are putting down the technology in order to pick up things like Play-Doh and pens and all kinds of things. That people are going back to that creative element.
I think so. I mean, there's obviously there's obviously a need for technology and our phones, and that we know that's a need. But also getting people off their phones, being present in the moment. The texture and the sensory part of what we do, and just enjoying that process. And I love Blue Peter, but we don't do here's one we made earlier. It's that journey of there's no right or wrong, and see how it goes, and just being very present in that moment and enjoying what you're doing and not thinking about the dinner or the next meeting you have to have, or just being present, I think, and that's where, certainly from a well-being point of view, is very powerful.
Yeah. Sarah, how did you come up with the idea for Creation Station?
There's kind of two avenues here. I'll keep it short. I did some volunteer work in Zimbabwe, and while I was there, I was offered a job supporting women to run their own arts and crafts business. This is in like 1990, and it was a real sliding door moment for me because I was working in London. I'd done a year's voluntary work, and I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to teach other people to support other people to run their own creative business. So I came back to London, resigned from my job, literally. And another trigger for me was my boss had said, if you carry on like this, Sarah, you too could be a regional manager. I was like, I could. I seriously could be. And if I carry on, I will, and I don't want to. I want to do something that makes me really feel good.
Yeah.
And so I set up my own creative business and did loads of creative stuff and made things and sold things. And then I met my husband, had 3 kids, and I ended up in a wheelchair for a couple of years with complications. And I went to loads of classes because I could wheelchair myself around. I couldn't walk, but I could get in and out of the car. And all of these different experiences I went with the kids. There was lots of things that taught the kids what to do. You all had to put the tambourine back at the same time. And I had 3 kids under 3.5. They'd only just got the tambourine. There was no way they were handing it back. But there was nothing for me that really unlocked the uniqueness. The fact that one child might just want to bang it, one child might want to sit quietly, one child might want to run around with it. And why shouldn't we allow children to, in a safe way, explore, experiment and develop in a way that suits their needs and curiosity? And there was nothing that really unlocked that for children. This was back in 2002. And so hence the idea of the creative process as a program for kids came about.
Okay. And from that initial idea and setting up the initial business side of things, how did you then, because obviously you're a very successful franchise, how did that journey come about?
So I started running the classes and learning very quickly. I got experts on board just to help me develop the programs, really. And lots of people were asking me, oh, can I do that? It's like, you can, but if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure I do it really well.
Yeah.
So I ran the business for 5 years with some staff, developed the business, worked with the BFA, who were fantastic, learned what was involved, what was needed, and had my first franchise, arm's length franchise. That went well and we learned and took on the next one. Meanwhile, we were getting asked to do, from a children's centre, to develop a creative baby and mum program.
Wow.
So we developed that and piloted it. We were being asked to do birthday parties. I remember doing the first birthday party. Oh my God, how not to do a party. The kids had an amazing time. I was absolutely exhausted. It's like, there's creativity and there's creative chaos.
Yeah.
I was like, let's bring it in. Let's have a system and a process. So now we have a really good framework and a process for everyone to be creative, but we're within a very contained system. So you don't have to spend 2 hours clearing up afterwards,
No.
you know? So because I've ran the business for so long, there's lots of things we've tried and not worked, but the stuff that has worked, we've been able to roll out to our franchise partners. And again, the schools would contact us and say, can you run there's a big squeeze on creativity in school, it's not really there in the same way anymore. And so they were saying, can you run some after school clubs that are creative? So we did some pilots and we now run lots and lots of after school clubs, creative holiday camps. There's often a lot of sports for children, but not necessarily creative, and a whole range of different creative activities. So that kind of developed as well. And a lot of our ideas have actually come from our franchise partners or from customers. So, I'm curious, nosy, whatever the difference is. I like to know what I don't know, and find out. And over the years, we've just really developed that and seeing where the market is, where the opportunities are. Because one, it's about making a difference, but it's also about our franchisees to be able to make money.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
without the money coming in, we can't do
Yeah.
all of the extra charitable stuff and the community extra work. So it is about being profitable, but with passion and purpose.
Yeah, I think it's quite nice that you do kind of from the cradle to the grave almost.
Yeah. What do we say? golden to olden, or there's a phrase that we use, I can't remember off the top of my head, cradle to golden. I'll remember when we're not online, but on live, but it just made sense.
Yeah.
Because the ability just to be creative is not, for kids only.
Yeah.
And I would say most people, if you ask, and I do ask them when I do talks, who is creative, you might get one or two people who might put their hand up because they play the piano or because they paint. We all problem solve every day. We all have to make connections and make something a bit better.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the creative process. It's not just about being artistic or musical. It's about problem solving and thinking, learning how to think.
Yeah, I think I'm a creative person, and I love that. I've just gotten into clay and pottery, and I start a course. It's like the throwdown stuff, and just that being able to create. The first time I did it, I wasn't sure that I would ever create anything, and you must see that a lot, where someone starts the process, and then by the time they get to the end of the process, they're like, oh my days, I made that. And it's such a beautiful thing, isn't it, for people to feel that release of, oh, I don't know that I can do it, to them being, I did that.
Yeah. Especially when you were possibly, I don't know in your case, whether you were taught, someone said at school, oh, you're not very good at art, or you'll never get a career out of art. I remember getting a really bad grade for my GCSE, or O-level I think at the time, getting a really bad grade. And I don't know where I got it from. I was like, well, I don't care, I like it.
Yeah.
I think that was my mother, enjoy it, do the best that you can.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I would be able to run a financially profitable creative business when I was 18. I didn't really know anything about business. So I ended up going into nutrition and catering. But I think most of us have these hang-ups from school. Oh, I'm not very good at art.
Right.
Because there might have been someone sitting next to us who could paint better.
Yeah.
So we always felt a bit embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it. But when you first learn to drive a car, you're not very good at driving either. And there is a skill that you develop. I think to be a master at anything, there's a little bit maybe genetic, possibly. But most people who are good at things, they persevere and they work really hard at it. Olympians aren't born, they work so hard,
really hard
to achieve their greatness.
Yeah.
And I thought, like with anything, you didn't give up on your first session because, don't think I can do it, it's too hard. But when you push past that hard, when you step out your comfort zone into that stretch zone, and you start to see, it's quite good to get results sooner because it helps you keep motivated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But like you said, I love it when people, I did that.
Yeah. Sarah, what do you love about the franchise industry and being a franchisor?
That's such a wide question. But predominantly it's the connection with other very proactive business for good businesses. What I found about franchisors is they are the type of people who want to make a difference to others.
Yeah.
There's a huge amount of value and community and support. And I guess because franchising is about supporting others, there's a huge respect for people, there's a huge amount of value and, I guess, love for other people and support. It's very collaborative.
Yeah.
And even within the children's sector, we could be doing similar things, but it's not competitive because ultimately the person who's looking at investing in a franchise, they will decide what's right for them.
Yeah.
And I really value the collaboration and the connection and the help. We've been franchising for over 20 years, and when we get new people in, I learn from new people as well, and hopefully I can share a little bit of experience from my point of view. With a group of other franchisors, we've set up the the best UK franchises, which is a really nice collaborative as well.
Yeah.
It's like sharing support, advice, and friendship. Actually,
Yeah.
it's really nice to have people you can trust
Yeah.
and be there. And life, I think life is everything is about people. You know, you need good people. If you're lucky, you've got a good family to support you, you've got other business support, and you need great people for customers, we've got great people as franchise partners. Everything is about people and relationships, and we felt that during COVID when we just
Yeah.
literally had it all cut
Yeah.
off. That, you know, being around lovely people is just a real honour to hang out with great people.
Yeah. And I've seen that over the years. Like, you're someone that, you've always inspired me in terms of, like, you're Sarah.
Oh, bless you.
And, like, you have been around for a while, but you're very warm and you're very welcoming and friendly and approachable. And I can imagine if I was a franchise owner or if I was in the children's sector, that you would be someone that would kind of, not necessarily mentor, but I could come to you and ask questions and ask for guidance, because you seem like that kind of person. You're very open in that sense. Do you often get people coming and seeking you out? Yeah, I thought you would.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Absolutely. I mean, it's all about giving forward, and if there is anything that I can help with people, I don't really know that much, but I do.
Yeah.
I don't know, because
Yeah.
a lot of it's common sense to me, because I've learned it, and I've invested, and I wish in some ways some people had told me some of the things that I've learned. And so if I can pass any of that experience on,
Yeah.
not how to do it, but experience, to say, here's some of the things that you may want to consider, so then people can make their own mind up
Yeah.
and make their own decisions.
Yeah.
But absolutely, life's about giving forward, isn't it? And
Definitely.
I was doing quite a bit of research on happiness, because I find it really hard to switch off.
Yeah.
Can't think why. Because I like what I do, and there's always different challenges and opportunities. And I was looking at how you switch off, or actually how to be happy. And I read the Think Like a Monk book.
Oh yeah.
Jay Shetty, really
yeah.
interesting. So I thought, maybe I'll go to like a Buddhist monastery for a weekend. So I Googled, I live in Devon, I Googled there was like a little retreat. I thought, that's a bit out there, don't know. And then I was walking on the beach, and there was a lady I'd seen maybe 2 or 3 times. She walked fast, I like
Yeah.
walking fast. So we walked, and I was chatting to her, and she was getting on a plane. I said, oh, where are you going? She said, you won't believe it, I'm going to a Buddhist monastery in about 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I was like, can I come? She goes, okay. Didn't even know her name. Knew her dog's name, didn't know her name. And so I went back, booked it. I messaged my husband and said, I'm thinking about doing this. Booked it. It was over my birthday. And we had this week, it was in France, in the Plum Village by Thich Nhat Hanh, this amazing Buddhist monastery. I'd never meditated before, Steph. Up at like 4:45, meditating for half an hour or an hour in silence.
Yeah.
And I was really worried about not being on my phone or just getting bored. It was amazing. And during that week, we did different things. We walked really slowly and did mindful
Yeah.
walks, which I thought
Yeah.
would be awful. So I just want to get there and get on with the next thing. But the whole thing was lovely. And one of the things I really got out of it when I came back was this real sense of absolute joy to be able to breathe and be alive, and so much love for my husband and my friends and my kids. I just realised what I had in my life without seeking anything else.
Yeah.
And it was a real kind of, not a sliding door moment for me again, but this thing about, be present, be here,
Yeah.
look out for the people that you can, do as much as you can.
Yeah.
And so if people, do need help, and if anyone's watching this and they want to have a chat, more than happy. Because we have so much. and it's only right to share that,
Yeah.
to share that out.
Yeah. And we can learn so much from one another, like across so
Yes.
many different, not just about running businesses or, how to look after people in the team, but even just life.
Yeah.
Just that, like, one of my things, I love hiking, and my philosophy has always been slow down and smell the roses. And so I meander
Nice.
and just kind of like take things in, especially during like bluebell season or during the autumn, and just kind of you take in, because it's a whole body experience, isn't it? The
Yeah.
sight, the smell, the sound, everything, the touch.
Yes.
And it must be like that with some of the projects that you do as well. It's a whole body experience.
That, like you said, all of the different senses coming together
Yeah.
at the same time,
Yeah.
and we generally don't observe them because we're
No.
busy,
Yeah.
or we're thinking about something else. Oh, just do that. Oh, or on a phone. Oh, we'll take a photograph.
Yeah.
But actually stopping, the power of stopping and smelling the roses, as you said, is weirdly powerful.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah.
for a lot of people who do this all of the time, they probably already know this, but it was a real moment for me to just be present and be grateful for.
Yeah.
I've always been grateful, but to observe all of the amazing things around you, and I think with all those senses coming in, it is like just total sensory heaven,
Yeah, you're right.
because it
Yeah.
all comes in together, and it's a real moment of. It just brings it all back to that whole busyness and the list. It just all drops away
Yeah.
to just to be, to
Yeah.
enough to be. Somewhere I read somewhere, we're called human beings,
Yeah.
not human
I love
doings.
saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah, over the last 20 years that you've been involved in franchising, what kind of changes have you seen in the industry?
Oh, obviously from my perspective, certainly it's been transformational for me. 20 years ago, bear in mind we didn't have phones. I love the education that's around now,
Okay.
the support which we've talked about. I think being part of something bigger than yourself is always rewarding,
Yeah.
because you can learn, but you can also give.
Yeah.
I think we all grow by giving. The people I've met, I mean, we're at a show at the moment, and it's just got quite excited about seeing people.
Yeah.
And hearing, because you get like little snippets, because you may not have seen them for a little while, get social media updates, but asking people about, oh, how was that? How was, what's been happening with you? That connection. But I think franchising as a whole has become hopefully more accessible for people. It isn't just your big food and beverage franchises.
No.
There's an opportunity for people to run a successful business in more or less any of the areas that they might be interested in,
Yeah.
whether that's movement or swimming or art or cleaning ovens.
Some people like that.
Some people like that. But there's a whole range of different businesses.
Yeah, there is.
That if you want to run a business, being part of a business that's already proven, they do the research and development, like
Yeah.
you're part of a team, you're not doing it by yourself, and all the support and systems and credibility and safety framework that you get with an existing franchise. I think that's become far more accessible now for people, and it's been really, really lovely to see that development.
Yeah. So you mentioned that we are here at the show. How are you finding it? I mean, obviously we're only on day one, but how are you finding the experience of being here in terms of the conversations and people that you're meeting?
So we haven't done a show for certainly pre-COVID, and I
Okay.
never used to come. I had a team that would come, but I wanted to come because we are doing a show in Delhi in a few weeks, and I thought, well, I better sharpen my pencils, make sure I'm happy with everything that we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's been surprisingly great. I am an optimist, but I also like to be a bit of a realist, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. I've spoken to some phenomenal people this morning, and not just about being phenomenal for the Creation Station and how Creation Station could add to what they are trying to achieve, but just hearing people's stories.
Yeah.
An amazing youth centre that are looking to expand their services.
Okay.
Some food and beverage companies who want to add experiences to their business in the downtimes of their cafes, which is great. We like to partner.
Yeah.
We've recently awarded a franchise to a charity, a hospice. So they've actually got 2 franchises. So we're looking at how we can support charities with fundraising and activities. So it's nice to talk to a few charities as well.
Yeah.
We have one of our franchise owners owns a leisure centre. So again, we've been able to talk to a few businesses. So it's been a real broad mix of people. But I just love hearing their stories. And the fact that they've come to a show they're obviously looking for something, whether they're at crossroads or they're looking for another opportunity. I think I applaud people who take action in their life if they want to change something.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change.
No.
You have to create your own story, and you've got to be the superhero in it.
Yeah.
I've got a cape.
I saw you earlier.
Yeah, I took it off because we do the posh podcast. But you can borrow my cape anytime. Well, you've got your own cape. Sometimes we hide our capes.
Yeah.
We should be the superhero in the story, I think.
Yeah. I like that. I might borrow that. So, as a franchisor, do you find it's beneficial coming to shows like this?
Yeah, I think it's the first one we've done for a while.
Yeah.
So far, we're sort of like 50% through, 75% through. So far, I've seen really good leads come through. We've got some of our franchise partners on the stand. It's lovely seeing them. I've got my son here as well, who is fully versed on Creation Station. I started it when he was 3 months, so
You should know all about it.
He still helps me now, but in the business side, which is great. Seeing all the different franchises, being part of something bigger, especially with a lot of home working now. I think getting out, being in front of people, the energy in the sector, catching up with people face to face. Yeah, it's a very positive show.
Yeah. And what are you hoping for from tomorrow?
A bit more of the same, really. I enjoyed speaking with people and listening, and if we can find future partners from the show, that would be great, because I think we offer something that is quite unique, and with the 12 plus income streams, there's a really nice flexible business there for people. So hopefully we'll just find people who we're the right match for, and hopefully we can help them enhance their life and achieve what they want.
Yeah. And you're doing some talks, aren't you?
I am. I am. I did a talk this morning. I think I'm doing 4 tomorrow.
Wow.
3 or 4. 1 back to back, and it's a different talk.
Oh, wow.
So one is life's not a sausage machine.
That's very true.
I like sausages. I was going to say some of my friends are sausages, but they're not. That sounds terrible. But it's about not life being just the same old. It's fine if you're happy with that, but and also we're all different.
Yeah.
You know, I think education is a bit like a sausage machine. We're expecting everyone to go through education and come out
Carbon copies of each other.
copies. And yet the needs of our children are so wide now.
Yeah.
We should be rethinking what we're expecting from children,
Yeah.
and what success path they all individually need, because it's not the same. It's not one size fits all.
No.
And I think that with life as well. So that's very much about identifying what your curiosity is, how to tap into the thing that gets you excited and motivated and creating an impact. And the next one is purpose and passion, profits for community engagement, or something like that. It's about why your why is important.
Yeah.
So the why for Creation Station is to inspire imagination, nurture potential, and enhance each individual's amazingness. There's probably a better phrase on our website than that, but that's ultimately what our why is.
I won't tell the copywriter.
Yeah. And again, looking at a business that makes a difference and that is meaningful. And I think ultimately we spend a third of our adult life working.
Yeah.
So I think most people want their work to be meaningful and to make a difference.
Yeah.
And just how people can identify what's important to them and then align their values with a business that will resonate with their own values. So that should be fun. And then I'm on a panel talking about the relationship with franchise partners and obviously franchisors.
Yeah.
And it is a partnership, and it's about mutual respect, because without each other, we can't make the impact that we can.
No, it's true.
And in fact, we're the most recommended activity business in the UK. And what I particularly love about that is that's all customer reviews about our franchise partners. Not about me,
No.
not about the support team. It's about what they are delivering in their communities. And I read them every day, and I'm just really proud of what they do.
It's really lovely. So if someone was going to join the Creation Station and invest in your franchise, what kind of person are you looking for?
It's a really good question. We only award it to about 2% of people who inquire, so we are very selective.
Yeah.
And we are looking for somebody who is, firstly, and we don't compromise on this, is aligned to our values, which is about making a difference in their community. We're looking for somebody who's proactive. You have to put the effort in.
Yeah.
You can have the best system in the world, but if you don't get out there and implement the plan, it won't happen. So people have to be proactive. We've had companies, charities, leisure centres, farms, and mums with 2 kids invest in the franchise. So I think a need to generate money is really important. It's not a hobby.
No.
We want people who are serious about making good money out of making a difference, and somebody who likes people.
That's quite important.
Yes. I once took on a marketing manager, and she was lovely, but she did tell me over lunch one time that she didn't like kids. I was like, I'm going to put that on my list of questions in an interview. Do you like kids? So, I mean, we do adults now, but, some basic fundamentals.
Yeah.
Do you like being with people? Because life's about people, and business is definitely about building relationships.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say they are the key success factors we've seen in our successful franchise partners.
And Sarah, final question. If anyone was interested in finding out more about Creation Station, how can they find out more about you?
So simply just Google it, creationstation.co.uk. I would check out the social media. I would actually see what we're getting up to. I'd get a real sense of what we're about. And if it kind of resonates with you, you get excited about making a difference and having fun. On the website is the franchise.
Yeah.
Just click, you can download an information pack. And we do these online discovery events. They're live every fortnight. They're generally in the evening, 7:30 to 9:30. And it brings that information pack to life. There are franchise partners chatting on there some who have just started, and then you'll also get to hear from people who've been with us maybe 8, 10 plus years.
Okay.
And you can get all your questions answered.
Yeah.
So it's a real live, interactive, hear it for what it is. We don't gloss it over, although we like glitter. It's this is how it is. Because for us it's a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
And it's just, are we right for each other? And so it's a great way to find out more.
Yeah, sounds good. Sarah, I could literally chat to you all day.
Bless you.
It's really interesting. I've really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for your time.
Your questions have been lovely, and
Oh,
it is
thank you.
like just chatting to an old friend. So bless you. Thank you.
That's it.
You're very good. I don't know how you remembered all your questions.
I didn't. I kind of